Yo, what is up YouTube? It's your boy, Mr. Jerry J Fizz, bringing you guys another video. And in this video today, I'm going to be going over the tier list for Call of Duty Warzone, the best guns to use versus the worst guns to use. So I'm going to be ranking them from S, A, B, C, D, and F. Actually, hold on. Let's change this up a little bit. Because let's put the God Guns of Warzone. I think that's more fitting for the for STAS. Yeah, whatever. So we're gonna hop straight into this because these guns are the best guns. This is gonna be ranked from Season 4, so this is not gonna be including any updates that they may come out with Season 5. This is just gonna be going into Season 5, which guns are the best ones to use if you want to get the most kills, have the highest chance of winning the game, to the worst guns that you probably should never use in Warzone ever. They may be good in multiplayer, but not really that good in Warzone. So first we're gonna be starting off with the Striker. Now the Striker is not a good SMG to run here. This is just going straight to D tier because the gun is not good. Never use it ever. If you pick it up on the ground, if it's like a floor weapon or something, great, but never actually use it to make a custom slot class because it's just a waste of a slot, to be honest. Next we have the AUG 5.56. This one here is actually really good, highly underrated. People don't really run the AUG that much. Actually at all, really, but it really is a good gun. It is viable for Warzone. If you want to use it, you can go ahead. One of the better SMGs in my opinion as well. Now with the regular AUG, we're gonna put this down here at, we're gonna put the regular AUG at B because I think that's kind of where it belongs without the rounds on. Any other setup on it without those it's kind of pointless in my opinion. Next we have the Kilo. This one is going to God Guns of Warzone. So we got the first one in the God Guns of Warzone, guys. Kilo's an absolute monster. I actually use it from day one before everybody's hopped on the bandwagon and started using it. Actually, I kind of ventured off and used a lot of these guns before people started hopping on that bandwagon. But it is what it is. I'm just first to get there, whatever. Next, we have the M4. This one, I'm going to put it around A because at first it was the best gun in Warzone to use, hands down, but as new guns started coming out and the nerfs that hit the M4 and some of the other guns that got buffed, the M4 definitely is not one of the top guns. It's still viable, still one of the best guns, but I want to put it at that God Guns of Warzone because it has a little bit too much recoil for farther ranges to just beam kills like some of these other guns can. Then we have the Car 98K. This one I'm going to put down in A as well. Really good sniper. The only thing that kind of holds this one back is that you can only have 5 rounds max, so you can't use extended mags on it. And you also cannot use anything higher than a 8x zoom on this scope, unlike some of the other snipers. So if you're going out sniping, it's still viable for longer range sniping or sniping overall, just not as good as some of the other ones, and you'll kind of see why as we go on. Next, we have the MK2. This one is trash. Actually, changes to trash. Oh, I don't know how to spell. Trash. Yeah, any gun that's a gun like this, a marksman rifle that takes 2 shots to the head, kind of pointless to use. Yeah. Now, something like the Car, what separates this from the Car is that the Car would actually one-shot someone to the head and down them, while the MK2, you need at least 2 shots to actually down somebody. So you need at least 2 shots to down them, and if you're shooting them with the sniper still, you can get a headshot on them, go ahead, but it's not going to finish them off, so it's kind of annoying. At least a minimum 2 shots to down, and that has to be a headshot. So if you get 2 body shots, they're not going down. You actually need to get that 3rd body shot in, which is kind of annoying. Next, you have the crossbow. I'm going to put this all the way at C here because it's a pretty decent gun. It's more of a skilled weapon. Definitely harder to use than some of the other snipers in the game, but if you are skilled with it and can kind of lead your shots and stuff like that, pretty devastating weapon because you can get one-shot kills with this, even if it's not headshots. So yeah, pretty good gun. Next, we got the SKS. We're also going to put this at C here as well. Not the best in its class at what it does, not the highest ammo capacity as well, so I think this is just where it belongs. As you guys are going to see later on in the video, there are some other guns that are in the same class, and it kind of outshines this pretty much by a long shot. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and go with the AX50. This one, God Guns of Warzone. Now, if you're sniping in Warzone and you want a reliable sniper, this is one of the ones you would want to go with. I mean, there's not really much to say about it. It's probably one of the best one-shot kills to the head. Not the highest damage sniper, but it's really good. Next, we have the Dragunov. Same thing as the MK2. Headshot, you cannot get a one-shot kill to the head, which is unfortunate, which kind of sucks. But it is what it is. It's going in the trash. Never use these guns in Warzone. Then we got a HDR. This one's going to God Guns of Warzone. Probably the best sniper in the game, hands down. The real good thing about this is the bullet velocity on it is really nice. Really super high damage. And overall, I think it is the best sniper in the game, even better than the AX50. But the AX50 is also viable. But it really comes down to personal preference with these two. But these two are the best snipers in the game, and they are super sniping in Warzone is super overpowered. I will say that much. And we got the 1911. Pretty much going to rank all the pistols in the same spot for the most part. I'm going to put these down here at D. Then we got the 357. This one's also going to go down in D here. The X16 also in D. Now something like the Snake Shot, that's going to get ranked a little bit higher. This one I'll put around like B here. Because the thing with the Snake Shot, you are still capable of getting those one-shot kills if you're using like the dual wields and stuff like that. So super OP, especially when before they got nerfed, they were massively OP. People not using it as much because of the nerf, but it's still deadly in close quarters. You can still pretty much down anybody up close, no matter what gun they're using. You do have a shot of downing them with this, which is pretty insane. Then you also got the Renettis, the Burst Renettis. I'll probably put these around like C. It's a good secondary to carry around if you don't want to use like an overkill, or if you want to use a ghost class. I mean, the Renettis, the Burst is devastating. You'll literally wipe people out in about 3 bursts. I mean, pretty good. Good with the hip fire too as well. You got that fast mobility with it as well. Definitely would recommend. Not the best gun to use as a secondary. Obviously, the best thing to have is a submachine gun. But if you don't have a submachine gun, definitely go with the Burst Renetti if you do want something that's going to be put people down pretty quick. Next, we got the FAL. FAL is going to the God Guns of Warzone. This is another one of those weapons I was using since day one, baby. Since day one. And, you know, people don't start using these guns till all these big YouTubers start using it and stuff like that. Now, the FAL did catch a buff, which made it super OP, but before it was already OP and I was already murdering fools in Warzone. But after this last buff, definitely is one of the best guns in the game. It has the fastest DPS in the game, fastest time to kill besides a sniper with a headshot. So keep that in mind. You can literally down people in 4 shots with full shield, which is absolutely insane. Now, the Graw, this is your little pocket sniper. The thing has almost no recoil to the gun. It's good at pretty much all ranges. It can be used in pretty much any situation. It's pretty versatile. And the gun is super easy to use. That's why I think, because the gun's not the best in range. It's not the best in damage. It is really good. It's really accurate. But the thing with this gun is, it's super easy to use. That's why a lot of people are using it. And that's what makes the gun so good and stand out from some of the other ones that are also in the God Guns of Warzone. Next, we have the Odin. Odin, I'm going to put down at A here. The thing with the Odin, super powerful gun. Once again, I've been using this gun since the beginning of Warzone. Once again, you know, I'm always, listen guys, if you guys want to know the meta of the game before any of these other YouTubers do, you got to check out my channel because I know all this stuff, man. I've been using this gun since day one. I've been trying to put people on this gun since day one, and you know what? People started using it when these YouTubers started using it. When they realized the guns are good. Because back in the day, everybody was stuck on the M4. But I was kind of venturing out using these other assault rifles. And a lot of them were really good. Like the Kilo, the Odin, FAL. But the Odin, super good. High DPS on this gun. You would literally obliterate people. The only downside to the Odin is really the ammo that they have. I think the highest you can go is a 30 round mag, which is not that high. But the thing is, you will literally delete people off the face of the earth in about 5 shots. So very good gun to use. Definitely would recommend making a class with that. And we got the M13. I'm going to put this one in B. The only thing that really holds back the M13 is the actual ammo capacity. You literally run out of ammo so fast with this gun, and the gun takes like 14 to 15 shots to actually get down somebody. And if they're really far away, you're probably spraying a whole 60 round clip if you got the 60 round mag on, which I definitely recommend using with this gun. And you just run out of ammo too quick, and your ammo is done. If you take out a squad and you don't get some ammo after that, you're pretty much screwed if another squad pulls up, because you're pretty much out of ammo. Then we got the FR. Oh man, this one holds a special place in my heart here. This one, guys, I tried, and listen, I wish you guys can see my facial expression right now, but I tried so hard to use this gun. The thing is with this gun is it has potential to be so good. But the thing is, the bullet velocity needs to get a buff. They need to increase movement speed on this weapon and reduce recoil. If they do those 3 things, not even by a lot, but slightly, this gun, I'm telling you guys, this gun would be absolutely nutty. But right now, I'm going to have to put this gun in trash because you cannot track. It's so hard to track shots at range because you are using a burst weapon and the bullet velocity is not fast enough most of the times to keep up with where you're shooting at. The gun has potential, but it needs to get buffed, and I doubt it will. Unfortunately, it is what it is. Next, we have the AK-47. Another good gun. I'm going to also put this in B here, because with the AK-47, it's a very unique weapon here. The thing with this gun here, it's super, super strong, but the thing is, it has super, super recoil, or it has very super, super mobility. So you got to pick between one. You either want the mobility or you want the recoil control, because you can't get both with this gun. That's the issue that this one has in Warzone right now, because if you want to reduce that recoil, which the AK-47 has always had a bunch of recoil no matter what COD game you played, you're going to have to put down your mobility a lot and just try to boost everything up for your recoil control and your accuracy. But if you do that, you can't move around. You're literally stationary. You're moving like a slug. But if you want to get that faster mobility, you can do that. But then you lose out on a lot of that recoil control, which kind of puts it down a little bit more. And with the SCAR, this is also going to be the real thing that holds back the SCAR is the ammo. Once again, you only get 30 bullets total. The thing, unlike the Ayden, is not as strong as the Ayden. This is actually one of the weaker assault rifles in the game. I mean, I've used it a couple times. I do pretty good with it still, and that's more because I'm more skilled than anything else. Not to toot my own horn or anything. But the SCAR has potential to be a lot better if they just maybe increase the fire rate just a slight bit. The gun will be a lot better, in my opinion. Then you got the RAM. See, the RAM is a little bit tricky, because if you pick it off the floor on Warzone, like your first gun, you could use it as like a pocket SMG. Now, this gun has one of the fastest DPSs in the game. The real thing about the RAM is the recoil, which is super hard to control, and most of your gunfights, for the most part, are at medium to longer ranges for the most part. So it kind of lacks in that department. So I would not recommend making a class with this, but it is viable, because up close to medium range, it really is good. But anything beyond that, like longer ranges, I mean, good luck. Then you got the MP5, which is your overkill weapon, probably the most used gun in Warzone, because everybody's running overkill MP5 with anything else from the God guns. They either got Kilo overkill MP5, or they got people do HCR overkill MP5, or FAL MP5, GRAW MP5. So I mean, people do that. So the gun speaks for itself, really. The gun is one of the best guns in the game, one of the highest DPS. I think it's second or third. I would have to fact check that. I don't remember exactly. But the gun is good. Yeah. So we're going to go ahead and go to the MP7 here. MP7 is going straight to A. Not as good as the MP5. The real benefit of the MP7, even though it is pretty weak, it is better at range, I would say, which puts it ahead of some of these other SMGs. If it wasn't as good at range, then I probably wouldn't use it as much. But yeah, pretty decent submachine gun, very viable. If you want to go for high kill games, it is an option for you. Then we also got the P90. I'm going to place this down here with the AUG as well. Not the best SMG, once again, is viable, but it just, I don't know what it is. It just lacks. It's not the best at range. It just, I don't know what it lacks, but it just lacks something, you know. I'm going to put it around here with the AUG, because I think that's kind of where it belongs. I got to put those two together. Then we got the Bison. This is going up to A. Once again, the good thing about the Bison is that it has that 64 round magazine. So you don't, unlike the MP5 where you have to use that other attachment to get that 64 round, 45 round mag. With the Bison, it comes with a 64 round mag stock. Now, if you want to bump that up, you can even do that to 84 rounds, which you don't necessarily need to do. But if you, if you want all the ammo in the world, you can go ahead and do that. And the Bison drops people pretty quick, pretty reliable weapon, pretty good at range as well. Kind of like the MP7 here. I'll put it over the MP7 a little bit because you do have that higher ammo capacity without having to use an attachment for that. So that's why I'll put it a little bit higher there. The Uzi with the 40.41 AE rounds, I'll put this at B once again. Just not as good as the MP5 or MP7 or the Bison or even the AUG for the matter. I'll put it here because it is a viable weapon, pretty good at the game, kills pretty quick, but it's not really good at range at all, so that's kind of where I put it. The Striker, this one's going at D once again. We got the Uzi, the regular Uzi. This one would, to be honest, it'll go at B as well because, to be honest, I think that's where they all belong. Then we got the Striker. Do not use this gun ever. Then we got the MP5 10mm rounds, and this here I would put it at B as well because it is viable once again. But the thing is, you're limited on the ammo here. You only get 30 bullets in your clip, so you got enough to take out one person, maybe two. But if you're in a tight situation with multiple enemies, it's kind of hard. One-on-one, up close, sure, you can absolutely delete people, but anything beyond that, it's kind of hard to use. Trust me, I've been using those 10mm rounds since day one. On my MP5, I kind of switched between the 45 and the 10mm rounds, and it is nice to use because you do kill people slightly faster, slightly higher damage. Not worth it in all situations, but one-on-one, definitely worth it, I think, in my opinion. Now we got the SOCOM rounds. I'm gonna have to put these at C just for the actual ammo capacity. You don't get enough ammo in it. Absolutely delete people. One-on-one situation, sure, you can absolutely destroy somebody up close, but if you run into 2-3 people, you're kind of out of luck with that one. The M4 with the 9mm rounds, I'm going to put this at B because I believe it is good. Same thing, you don't have that high ammo capacity, but the faster fire rate with this would absolutely delete people, so it is better than the base M4. But the thing is, you can't use the extended mags on it, which kind of brings it down. It's kind of a balance there, so I'm going to leave it at that. Then you also have the AK. Once again, same situation. You can either get the recoil or get the mobility, so it's going to have to go in B tier here. Next, we have the models. These are going in the trash can. R901. After the patch for the R901 is not as good. Before, I probably put this around like B, maybe. But now I'm going to have to put this at D because it's not that great anymore. It's really not, unfortunately. One of my favorite shotguns in the game, and they nerfed it into the ground. And we got the 7.25. This one's going in the trash because you can kill people in 2 shots, but you only have 2 shots, and if you don't kill them, you're pretty much screwed. You're dead. Welcome to the gulag. Anyway, we're going to go with the Origin 12. With this one is an absolute beast of a weapon to get those campers camping on the stairs in those tall buildings in downtown. Take out your Origin, aim down sight, bop, 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 they're dead, and problem solved. Probably this is the best shotgun in the game right now, hands down. The VLK Rogue goes in the garbage. We got the M91. We'll probably put this around C here. I think that's kind of where it belongs there. And we got the MG3. This one, same thing. We're going to put this one at C as well because this one actually has one of the fastest time to kill in the game, period. I believe the only gun that is faster than this is the FAL. But the thing with this gun, you only get 50 bullets for a LMG. You only get 50 bullets for an LMG, which is not that great. You run out of ammo pretty quick. The reload speeds are pretty low. And you have to use an attachment to get 100 round mags, which is not that great. So, at C. Next, we got the PKM, which I would put in the God Guns of Warzone. This thing is an absolute beast. If you are mounted with this gun, it is probably the best gun in the game, hands down. Overall, damage super high, fire rate's not the fastest, but it's still good. Recoil control, pretty simple, pretty easy to control, pretty easy to use. The mobility is not that slow with the 100 round mags on, and you can boost it up to the 200 rounds, and you absolutely delete people with this gun. If you have not used the PKM, definitely try it out. It is one of the best guns in the game, hands down. Unlike this gun here, the SA-87, which I'm going to put right here because it is not a viable gun for Warzone. I'm actually going to have to put it in the trash. Now, I did rank up this weapon just so I can play with it and use it, but the gun's not good. Point blank. Gun's not good. Do not use it. Don't even try to use it. Don't level it up to try to use it. And, hey, let me check this out, see if it's good. Don't do it. The gun sucks. Next, moving on to the Holger. This one, pretty decent. I'll probably put this around like a C, just because it has really low damage to it. A super fun gun to use, but the damage is super low, so there's better LMGs to use. Not the best, not the worst, so we're going to leave it at C there. EBR is going in the trash. Once again, takes 2 shots to the head to down somebody, which is beyond me. It makes no sense using it. You might as well use a car because, or a sniper, because, I mean, it doesn't make any sense. Or if you want to use the EBR, go ahead and use the FAL, because the FAL has a 4-shot kill, and the thing is, it has a faster DPS than this gun here. So it's like, why use the EBR or the MK2 or even the SKS over the FAL when it does all that stuff but better? So I don't get it. But yeah, there's no point in using it. Just use the FAL if you want to use any of those guns. Then we got the snake shots. These are also going up here. To B, we got the Joker. Now the thing with the Joker, this actually has the longest range out of any rocket launcher in the game. This one could go up to 2,000 meters in range, and it's a one-shot to any vehicle, whether you're in a helicopter, you're in one of the big Berthas, or you're in the SUV, or if you're in the buggy, or if you're in the ATV. This thing will take you out in one shot. So this is going to go up in B tier here. And it has the biggest blast radius out of any explosive in the game besides a kill streak. So that includes C4s and bouncing betties and all that stuff. Really deadly. So if someone gets hit by this thing, they are dying. There's no way around it. They are dead if you lock on them. You can lock on to people outside of buildings and stuff like that. So, I mean, one of the best, in my opinion, the best launchers that they have in the game. The Stellar P. This one, I'm going to have to put down in C or D. Maybe. I'm going to put it in D because the thing with this one, you can only lock onto actual vehicles. You can't actually kill people or just free fire the gun or the rocket launcher. So that's why I'm going to put it in D, because you can't get those, you can't kill people with it. You can shoot stuff down pretty good and lock on, but you can't kill people with it. So it's kind of pointless, in my opinion, based on what we're going to see later on. So we got the M19. I'm also going to put this here. We got the RPG. I'm going to put these also in B here. We got a lot of stuff in B now that I realize it. But yeah, I'm also going to put these in B here because you can actually kill people with this. You can actually shoot it at vehicles as well. Not as strong as a Joker or as a big enough blast radius, but you can also shoot at people if they're camping in buildings and stuff like that. The RPG is still deadly even after the patch. Definitely annoying to play against, but I mean, it's really good if you want to use it. I mean, you're definitely going to get some kills with it. And then you got the Pila. I'm going to put that in B as well. Now, the Pila is good too because you can actually lock on to actual vehicles. But the good thing about this is the actual velocity of the rocket itself. This thing travels super fast. It is the fastest traveling rocket in the game. So as soon as you shoot it, it's pretty much going to be on impact with your target in less than a second, which is pretty nice if you're aiming down sight with it. Not as strong as an RPG, but you can still take people out. That's why I kind of put it in B still, but it shoots super fast. That's really the benefit of this launcher here. Then we also have the Desert Eagle, the gold gun. This one's also going to go in C here. Actually, no. We're going to put this down to D with the other. I was going to put it up a little bit higher because of damage, but once again, not the best when it comes to DPS. and definitely not as good as Renetti Burst, so I'm going to put that down in D. Then we got the MG34. Actually, where's the Bruin? There's no Bruin on this list. I forgot to do the Bruin. You know what? We're going to use this one for the Bruin. This is going to be the Bruin. This one is going to be in the God Guns of Warzone. One of the best guns in the game, hands down. If I had to give you a pick between the best top 3 guns in the game, hands down, probably be the Graw, the Bruin, and the MP5. Hands down the best guns in the game. So, yeah, everybody's using the Bruin. Now, what you got to keep in mind, the gun that is the best in the Call of Duty game, everybody's going to use it. The gun you see played with the most is the best gun in Call of Duty. That's pretty much how it's been since day one. People always want to use the best gun, so they're not at a disadvantage. So yeah, that's going to be it for this list, guys. Let me know if you guys think anything should be changed around, moved around. What do you guys think? What guns should be higher? What guns should be lower? Do you think I'm just crazy with this list? Do you think this list is absolute garbage and belongs in the trash bin or what? Just let me know down below in the comments. Make sure you thumbs up the video as well. Really helps out the channel. And go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well, because we are trying to make our way to 1,000 subs, guys. We are now at, I believe, 90 subs as of my last video. So, I mean, I've been gaining subs about 2 a day, which is absolutely insane, guys. And I really appreciate it. It's not a lot, obviously, but to me, I mean, I'm seeing improvements, which is really good on my part. So, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you know next time I drop a video, guys. And that's going to be it for this one, guys. Peace out and have a glorious day.